Hey there. Hope you had a good weekend. Welcome to Monday. So last week we talked about properties of parallelograms. Remember those is that opposite sides are equal and parallel. Opposite angles are equal. Consecutive angles are supplementary, meaning that they add to be 180. And if if one angle is equal to 90 degrees, then they're all equal to 90 degrees. Those were the 4 properties. Those notes are still below. Notes for today are right below this video for you. They're going to be about the diagonals of a parallelogram. So what is a diagonal of a parallelogram, right? So say we have a parallelogram here, A, B, C, D. The diagonal for these is when it connects opposite vertices. So D would be connected to B, okay? And A would connect to C. So those are the vertices, or the diagonals. Having a day. So they meet at a point, and I'm just going to call that on here point P. And there are only 2 properties you got to know here, is that diagonals bisect each other, meaning, remember bisect, they cut in half. So for this one, we would know that AP is congruent to PC, and DP is congruent to PB, okay? So it cuts that in half, opposite sides are equal. So these 2 are equal, these 2 are equal. The other property it says is that each diagonal separates the parallelogram into 2 congruent triangles. So meaning we have a congruent triangle here to here, here to here, but then we also have it when they're together, these 2 are equal and these 2 are equal. And if you remember when we talked about vertical angles, where it's on opposite sides of an intersecting line, that means this angle here is congruent to this angle here. And this angle here is congruent to this angle here. Okay? Did that blow your mind? Mostly what I need you to know is that these cut the diagonals in half. Okay? So let's try 2 examples. Oh man, that was a perfect parallelogram. Okay, let's try this one. I'm going to say again, I have A, B, C, D. And this is on the notes down below, so if it's kind of hard to see on my screen, I apologize, but it's below for you too. I'm going to say we have my 2 diagonals here. They're going to meet at point E. And I'm going to tell you that from A to E is 18, and from E to C is 4y. Okay? Now I'm also going to tell you that from E to B is 24, and from D to E is 6x. So in this one, we're going to find both x and y. Key thing to know here is it cuts the diagonals into 2 equal parts. So 6x here is half of this whole thing, so it's equal to 24. So you take 1/2 of the diagonal, set it equal to the other half of the diagonal, okay? Then you can solve. So here, all we have to do is divide each side by 6, and we would get that x equals 4, okay? Same thing for y. We're going to take one part of the diagonal, set it equal to the other part. So here we're going to have 4y equals 18. We divide each side by 4, we'll get that y equals 4.5. That's okay if you get a decimal, okay? Not everything in math is whole numbers, and that's okay. All right, let's try one more. So let's redraw my parallelogram. Okay. So I'm going to tell you that right here is 12, and over here is 4y. And then I'm also going to tell you that this angle here is 30 degrees, and this over here is 2x. Ooh, that's kind of hard to see. I'm so sorry. So 30 and 2x are these two angles. Because of the way that diagonals do that, it creates vertical angles right here, which means that they are congruent. So we take those two angles, set them equal to each other. So here we can say that 30 equals 2x. Okay, divide each side by 2, x is 15. Okay, now to find y, again, y is on one side of this diagonal, 12 is on the other. So we're going to take 12 equals 4y, divide each side by 4, and y is equal to 3. Okay? If you need help, just holler at me. You can text me. That's the easiest way to get my attention immediately. Sometimes Blackbaud does not always alert me that I have a message, and it sometimes doesn't show that I have a message until I go into messages. So if I don't get back to you right away, send me a text, and I'll get right on that. Or if you're, okay to wait a little while till I see it, shouldn't be more than a half hour tops. That's fine too. All right, good luck, and I'll talk to you soon.